Now, another thing, right, I just learned, right, from watching a different uh, church called the Shepherd's Chapel. Well, like I'm telling you, the word for trees is ETS, right? Yet the one from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is a Tosh. It's TSH. Uh huh. Now, the two Hebrew letters are probably Aleph and the DS, right? Right. Uh, it's in the concordance too, right? You get the word Tisknew from it. When it's called Saul Day. Saul Day. Salt. Salt. It's like saw. Tis. 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 Saul Day. Now, when you hide something from someone, I told you this before, you're lying to other people too. If you teach people something in secret, and God doesn't want it in secret, who then is the problem? You or God? You. 6086. Alright. Now, it's with an H at the end, right? Which is the point about it also has to do with a backbone or the spine, right, of a human being, right? So the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil are both these trees, right? They both have a backbone. As Adam is also a tree. Symbolically as well as metaphorically, right? Exactly. So the word, right, again, right, is you're denying why it's said that way. And what it means, okay, is you can't handle telling other people the truth. Right. But that only leaves you with what? The lie. The lie. See, if you're supposed to tell people the truth, and you do not, what does that mean you're really telling them? A lie. But does God want you to lie about it? No. Adam might. He's the one that was victimized by Satan. Satan himself might. He still had a child with Adam he don't want you to know he can have. He wants you to think he's male for a reason. He wants you to think he's an ish without his shah, who's still in him. Now, if she's in him, they're both a shah-ish, right? until she's taken out of him. Then there ish in the Shah, right? What does it mean? The first shall be last, and the last shall be first, right? Mm-hmm. If you make the body from within, wouldn't you make the female parts first, then the male, right? Going up, right? From the spine, right? Yeah. She's really below him. She encircles him in a hermaphrodite's body, right? The female is below the male, and yet her breasts are above him, right? She encircles him, right? She triangulates with him too, right? They're triangular, right? For a different reason. Now, the ovaries and the testicles are two on each side. But he's triangulated with both breasts for both the milk, right? But the heart is for them both, right? But she has 4 to his 2, right? Right? Right. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's the whole point to everything, right? I'm trying to say something, right? And you have to understand, I don't go to Jerusalem alone. It's supposed to be me and the second male anyway. Mm-hmm. Who goes with me? And that's where you're not understanding it all. Or really at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly, my friends. Right. And the problem is, you can't stand it, right? You let yourself fall with Satan, and your unworthiness, though, right, is your excuse to God for not doing it, right? But my worthiness and Christ's worthiness to say it, in a way, we both save you all, even if you don't say it, right? But that also drags it out longer, right? Do you understand what you're doing? Right. You can try to do whatever damage you want to the planet. But the thing about the replenisher is he's always replenishing, even though it appears like the universe itself is waxing old, right? And it's billions of years since it was even created, right? Well, whether it is or not, replenishing it only brings it back briefly, to a perfect state, right? If it's 6,000 years and then we fall, right, after the 6th day, which means 0 to 6,000, right, to replenish the earth, right? Right, as it was in the beginning, right? So shall it be in the end, right? But it still takes the 6,000 years to God, right? Not the man. Man's ignorant of the time that's passing by him, right? He thinks 120 years is a good time to die, right? He's like grass in the field, though, to God, right? According to Isaiah as well. We think we live a long time. You ain't even grasping the concept of time, right? Though it is linear, by the way. There's a reason you can't go back in time either. There is no past to go back to. You've done lived it, right? That's why no matter what you do, even Satan has a past, right? But he's also not, because when he died, right, and like I told you, he went down into the grave according to Ezekiel 31, right? Which is what they're reading today, right? But unlike me, when they talk about the fainting of the trees,
I apply it to the angels in chapter 6 and Satan himself. See, to make Adam and Eve his servant, they had to sin with him, right? But he also had to murder himself to murder them 1,000 years later, right? Or 930 years after they did it with him, right? The it being sex, right? And then, okay, you got the rivers, right? But rivers don't drown as well as an ocean, right? Or sea, right? Now, the waters in the other region of the planet. See, they say the Earth was also a Pangea, one landmass, right? And broke apart about after the flood, right? Within a few hundred years. It wasn't that long ago. But it appears like it is, right? Because see, when the fall occurs, what timeline would come back into fruition? The original one till now, right? If I perfect everything back to the beginning, right? It's still the process of remaking it as it was. It still takes 6,000 years to do that, right? Let's say it says 1,000 years still, right? So it takes 6,000 years to do that, right? You still have 4 more days for the 10 days of tribulation, by the way, too, right? Whatever you want to see it as, right? And that's what you seem to hate, you know. Do you think you can make it shorter? You can't. Do you think you can make it longer? You can't. It is what it is, you know. But who told him? Parables, Jesus. It took 10 days to send the Holy Ghost from the Father, right? On Pentecost, right? Okay. Egyptians have 10-day weeks, right? I don't know, right? Something told him though. Now, if you have a 10-day week, that means your days are still 30 days, right? And like I told you, the sun itself takes 15 days to rotate facing us and 15 days to rotate not facing us, right? Or 30 days complete, right? To rotate on its own axis. But we don't notice it, right? Just a ball of gas to us. But believe it or not, it too is rotating, right? On its own axis, right? But you have to measure it like the scientists do, right? To even know that, right? That's how we found out. Anyway, they are measuring the sun and they found out it rotates, right? Well, that's still one solar day to the sun, right? Our day is 24 hours, right? But a day to God could be as 1,000 years, right? Don't you hear what the Spirit is saying to the church, right? So it's only been 2 days, right? Since Jesus left to God, right? But to us, it's still 2,000 years, right? 10 days is the max we got, right? That's still 4,000 years, right? You can't rush Christ to return. If you still don't know the day or the hour, don't assume he can come back quickly or slowly. He comes back to restore and replenish that which we're destroying, which is our own planet, right? By sinning with Satan, right? The more you sin with your enemy, the more he has power by his own death to destroy that which you love, right? And make you hate like he hates. To make you condemn like he condemns, right? To make you war as he wars, right? And anyone who wars isn't for instance, Zeus, right? Who also forgives man's sin and drives to teach his children through Satan even, or through Mars even, or through Ares even, right? Whatever you want to call the god of war, right? God of war teaches you to hate and discriminate and differentiate each other and call each other names like free, or right? Because I get something you don't. But if I get it, right, I get it because I'm listening. Right? If you don't because you don't want to listen, right? But you listen so much to what you say, right? And okay, I'm not saying you don't, but you have a problem with this idea, right? And want to deny it, right? Well, God can't lie even if you can deny it, right? And who denied it was not a tree. He ate up, right? Adam. When he vowed sinned, whatever the tree was, he would know what it was after he did what he wasn't supposed to do with it, right? Now, I keep pointing out what he made. Even if you make an apron for your mouth, you put it usually under your whole mouth, right? So that if food falls out of your mouth, it lands on the apron, right? Now, you don't always tie it around your genitals, right? To do that. Right. Now, another thing about a fruit is if you have one like your cookie thieves, right? Who steal the cookies from the cookie jar, yes, me, not me, then who, right? Well, like I said with the clarinet, right? That top there don't come off, right? It's twisted on tight, right? You have to manually untwist it, right? Get it off, right? It don't just come off with simple prying, right? Because it's, well, wedged on, right? If it does, right, you have to apply a lot of force. And then it'll pop off, right? See, when it was off yesterday, right, I hadn't done anything to it, right? Did it cause that to happen? Right. Right. So was someone visiting again? I don't know. They could have been, right?